Good morning, students. Today I am going to start chapter number 6, Manufacturing Industries from Geography. And today's topics are overview. Number 2 is importance of manufacturing. Number 3 is contribution of industry to national economy. Number 4 is industrial location. And number 5 is classification of industries. All right. So students, first of all, I am going through the overview. So students, this chapter is all about related to the conversion of raw materials into finished item. In short, we can say it is all related to the manufacturization of the goods and products into the industries. And you know very well that the process of manufacturization is related to the secondary activities, and you know very well that how secondary sector is very important for the growth of Indian economy, and the economic strength of a country is also measured by the development of manufacturing industries. All right. So students, one question will arise here that what is manufacturing? So students, production of goods in large quantities after processing from raw materials to more valuable and important products is called manufacturing. All right. For example, you know that paper is manufactured from wood, and sugar from sugarcane, and iron and steel from iron ore, and aluminium from bauxite. Understood? So students, you know very well that people employed in the secondary activities and manufacture the primary materials into finished goods, as I told you, and the workers who are employed or working in steel factories, car, textile industries, in bakeries, all are fall into the category of secondary activity. And in this series, some people are employed in providing services also. So students, now you can understand very clearly that this whole chapter is concerned with manufacturing industries which fall in the secondary sector. Okay? After that, your next topic is importance of manufacturing. So students, you know very well that manufacturing sector or industrial sector is considered the backbone of development in general and economic development in particular manner, because point number 1 is manufacturing industries help in modernizing agriculture, and also they reduce the heavy dependence of people on agriculture income by providing them jobs in secondary and tertiary sectors. Okay? Point number 2, industrial development is also very helpful in eradication of unemployment and poverty, and also its help in bringing down regional disparities or differences by establishing industries in tribal or in backward areas or in the villages of India. You know very well that after the establishment of any industry in remote areas of India or in villages, all these required a well developed infrastructure like roadways and electricity and water. So government also very keen to provide all these facilities to the industries for development. That's why industry is very important and playing crucial role for the development of any area. Understood? Okay. After that, third point is exports of manufactured goods expand trade and commerce and increasing business also, and bring much needed foreign exchange among the countries of the world. And next point is India should convert its raw material into a wide variety of furnished goods in order to prosper. And also, India's prosperity lies in increasing and diversifying its manufacturing industries as quickly as possible. Alright? So, students, we know very well that agriculture and industry both are reciprocal with each other, or we can say in another word that agriculture and industry go hand in hand. For example, in agro industries, agriculture helps industries by providing raw materials, and industries also provide products such as irrigation, pumps, fertilizers, pesticides, etc. And we can compete with international markets if our manufactured products are at par in quality with international products. Okay? Because in the present day world of globalization, our industry needs to be more efficient and competitive. Okay? After that, your next topic is contribution of industry to national economy. So students, this topic is related to the contribution of industry to national economy, and you can see that over the last 2 decades the share of manufacturing sector has stagnated at 17% of GDP, total out of 27% for the industry, which includes 10% of mining, quarrying, electricity and gas. Okay? But this is much lower in comparison to some East Asian economies of the world, where it is 25 to 35%, and we are just only 17%. And the trend of growth rate in manufacturing over the last decade has been around 7% per annum, and the desired growth rate over the next decade is 12%. Alright? So students, since 2003, manufacturing is once again growing at the rate of 9 to 10% per annum. Then student, again one question will arise here, that if our industrial contribution was stagnated at 17%, then how it is growing again? and the desired growth rate for industry is 12% in the coming period. So students, the National Manufacturing Competitiveness Council NMCC has been set up with this objective, and government policy intervention and renewed efforts by industry for productivity will help manufacturing achieve its desired growth rate. Alright students, understood? After that, your next topic is industrial location. So students, you know very well that industries are not found everywhere, and everywhere we cannot establish any industry because industrial locations are complex in nature, and these are influenced by availability of raw material, labor, capital, power and market, etc. And it is rarely possible to find all these factors available at one place. Okay? So they are located at certain places only where they get favorable conditions for its setup, and also where all the requirements are available or can be arranged at lower cost. Alright? So student, as you know very well that wherever or in any place, if an industrial activity starts, urbanization follows or urbanization started. So students, sometimes industries are located near the cities because cities can able to provide all the requirements of the industry. Okay? And you know very well that industrialization and urbanization go hand in hand. And as I told you above that, sometimes industries opened by the government in backward area only for the development of backward region or villages or any area of India. And students, you know very well that cities provide markets and also provide services such as banking, insurance, transport, labor, consultants and financial advice, etc. to the industries. Understood? And after the setting up any industry, you can see many industries tend to come together at urban centers to make use of the advantages offered by the urban centers, and these are known as agglomeration of economies, or we can say in another word, a large industrial center takes place. All right? And students, in the pre-independence period, most manufacturing units were located in places from the point of view of overseas trade, such as Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, etc. And industrial location is governed mainly by the following factors, like availability of proper and regular raw material, source of energy like coal or electricity, and availability of money and finance, and demand in market, and also industry required skilled laborers and workers, and also industries required banking and insurance, and well developed transport and communication. All right. So students, all these are the requirement for the industrial setup and for the best industrial location. All right. After that, your next topic is classification of industries. So in this series, number one is on the basis of raw materials. So on the basis of raw material, there are two types of industries. Number one is agro-based and number two is mineral-based. Students, agro-based industries where raw materials come from agriculture. For example, cotton, woolen, jute, silk, textiles, sugar industries, tea, edible oil, etc. And mineral-based industries are those industries where minerals are used as raw material. For example, iron and steel, cement, aluminium, machine, tools, etc. Okay? After that, next one is on the basis of their main role. So there are two types of industries. Number one is basic industries and number two is consumer industries. So students, basic industries are those industries which provide raw material to other industries are called basic industries. And these industries help the development of other industries. For example, iron steel industry, copper and aluminium smelting industry, etc. Next one is consumer industries. So, consumer industries are those industries which produce goods for consumers are called consumer industries. Finished goods of these industry are directly sold in the market for consumer. For example, like sugar, toothpaste, soap, bread, paper, etc. Okay? After that, next one is on the basis of capital investment. So, students, on the basis of capital investment, there are two types of industries. Number one is small scale industries and number two is large scale industries. So, small scale industries are those industries where investment of money or capital is less than rupees 1 crore are called as small scale industries. For example, mat, furniture, toys, bread or tools industries, etc. And next one is large scale industries. So students, large scale industries are those industries where investment of capital is more than rupees 1 crore are called as large scale industries. You can understand very clearly that all the big industries like iron, steel, petrochemicals, cotton, textile industries required a much investment of capital and also money and labors, etc. All right. After that, next is on the basis of ownership. So, on the basis of ownership, next one is on the basis of ownership. Okay. So, on the basis of ownership, there are four types of sector. Number one is public sector, private sector, joint sector and cooperative sector. So students, public sector are these industries which are owned and operated and maintained by government. For example, like BHEL, SAIL and ISCO. Next one is private sector. So, private sector are those industries which are owned, operated and maintained by individual or group of individual, like Tata Iron Steel Company or Tisco, Bajaj Auto Limited, etc. And after that, joint sector. So joint sectors are those industry which are jointly or together run by government and group of individuals. Okay, and we can say in another language that it is mixture of public and private sector. For example, Oil India Limited. All right, after that, last one is cooperative sector. So students, cooperative sectors are those industries which are owned, operated and maintained by the help of both, like supplier of raw materials and workers of the industries, like sugar industries in Maharashtra and the coir industries in Kerala. Okay, and after that, last one is on the basis of finished goods. So students, on the basis of finished goods, bulk and weight of raw materials, there are two types of industries. Number one is heavy industries and number two is light industries. So students, heavy industries are those industries which use heavy and bulky raw material and produce heavy goods in large quantity are called heavy industries. For example, iron steel industry, copper smelting industry, etc. Next one is light industries. So students, light industries are those industries which use light and small raw material and produce light weighted goods or material are called light industries. Okay, for example, electrical materials, toys, tools and utensils, etc. All right, understood? So students, here today's topic are finished now. Listen my lecture very carefully, and anywhere if you have any doubt or confusion, then contact to me. All right, thank you and have a nice day. Students, here I want to share one information related to the coir industry which I told you above. So students, one question will arise here that what is coir industry of Kerala? So students, coir industry is an agro-based rural industry providing employment to 7 lakh workers in the major coconut producing states of the country, especially in Kerala. And this is an export oriented industry which earn more and more money. All right, understood? Okay, thank you.